And so Lex goes, well, have you heard of Waylon Jennings? And I go, no.
You'd never heard of Waylon Jennings at that point?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
I go, no. He goes, all right. And he goes, well, have you heard of Dukes of Hazzard? See where this is going?
That's your favorite TV show.
Favorite TV show. And I go, no. Hold on a second. You haven't? He goes, just a good old boy. I go, oh yeah, Chérie, fais-moi peur, So, I didn't know the name of it. I said, how cool is good? Well, I played with his son, Shooter. So Shooter shows up, we meet, we go to their rehearsal space. Yeah, oh yeah. So at 2-3 in the morning, here we are in Shooter's studio, recording studio, a rehearsal space.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm playing and, doing the whole thing. And they're like, so where are you staying? I said, well, at a hostel down the street. And they go, no, you're not. I go, okay, well, because you're coming with us. You're going to play in Stargunn. Landed at LAX on May 1st, 2001, yeah. And so I took a little bit of experience from London and applied it to LA, which was find a hostel.
Uh-huh.
And LA or a lot of American cities, LA is one street.
Did you know what part of town to go find a hostel, or were you just...
Hollywood.
You knew that?
Yeah, so I think I told you before about this banana bungalow, and it was...
By bungalow, he means bungalow.
Did I say bungalow? Well, I didn't have any bungalow there, but I'm sure it happens.
Yeah.
No, and so I found this hostel a couple of days later that was on top of a liquor store that's right across the street from the Chinese theater on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
It's like a liquor store
right
and a pizza place.
Roosevelt Hotel?
Yeah, right there. And it was like a little stairs in between the liquor store and the pizza place, and it was like $8 a day. So I ended up there. And I had not a work visa, I had a tourist visa, like a visa waiver for like 90 days. So I had a round trip. I had a one way in, one way out, And so I was like, all right, you got 90 days. You can just got a little bit of money, a couple $100, backpack, guitar. So I was backpacking just like I did in England.
Right.
So, all right, well, if you're going to try to see what's going on, just pick up the paper. So they have Music Connection magazine. And I would look at ads for guitar players wanted. And if I see like bands and names I recognize, like Black Rose, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Guns N' Roses, started picking up the phone, and one of the first bands I called was a guy named Joe Firstman. So I called him up and I said, hey, I'm from France, and so all right, come out to the audition. And it was on Hollywood and Vine, where Capitol Records is, and there's right at the corner of Hollywood and Vine is this block of it's a rehearsal space center, and they have like 100 rooms.
That's like right by Jack's Sugar Shack. The bar we played. Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so
where all the stars are.
Yeah, and so I met up with him for the audition, and it was like 20 guitar players that showed up. And he was doing a week-long audition. Okay, so-and-so come back the next day. So-and-so come back the next day, which was a little much.
Whittling it down for a bar band?
Yeah. So from 20 guitar players, and it happened in the course of, I think, like 4 days, whatever, with a show at the end of the week. And it came down to 2 guitar players, me and another guy that you might know of named Slim. Slim ended up playing guitar for Lady Antebellum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was in LA. So it came down to me and Slim.
Dude with the braids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome, by the way. I was thinking about him today on the way here. I was thinking about all that stuff, and I haven't talked to him in a while, but...
What's up, Slim?
Yeah, Slim, what's up? So...
He's Lady A now.
Right, Lady A. And so we go and play the show, and Slim and I on the stage. I forgot where we played, but and then we all go back to the rehearsal space because they had a party going on. So we're drinking, these girls, we're jamming, and I'm playing and getting boozed up, and I'm playing whipping post on my brothers.
Right.
Jamming, and whatever. And then I just stopped playing for a while, and this guy comes up to me and he goes, hey, I'm Lex. I said, cool. And he goes, what's your deal? So, just playing guitar. I'm from France, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, cool. And he goes, well, I play in the best rock and roll band in LA, and we're going to be as big as Guns N' Roses.
I love LA.
I was like, oh, you are?
It's like right out of a movie.
Right.
That you wouldn't believe somebody would say that.
Oh, it was, he was straight up like, we're going to be big. We're going to be as big as Guns N' Roses. So I'm like, oh, you got my attention. What's going on? What? And I got the gig with First Man that night.
Mhm.
So I was going to play with him. He had like manager.
Did he take you and Slim?
No, I got the gig.
Oh, you got the gig. Slim. That's Slim Pickens.
Yes. Slim did get the gig. And I'm talking, it's like 2 a.m, right on a Saturday night. And so Lex goes, hey man, so, well, have you heard of Waylon Jennings? And I go, no.
You'd never heard of Waylon Jennings at that point?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
It was all rock and roll and blues at home.
Get it?
Johnny Cash was the only name that, if you're not into country
Resonates.
music, that you would recognize. I go, no. He goes, all right. And he goes, well, have you heard of Dukes of Hazzard? See where this is going?
That's your favorite TV show.
Favorite TV show. And I go, no. He's like, hold on a second. You haven't? He goes, just a good old boy. I go, oh yeah, Chérie fais-moi peur, So, I didn't know the name of it. I said, how cool is good? Well, I played with his son, Shooter, it's a band called Stargunn. I was like, oh, no kidding. So I was drawn towards what he had to say.
Of course.
So he called Shooter up. Shooter was out and about. And what I didn't know is that the guitar player had given his notice and was about to move back to Nashville.
Oh,
he was
wow.
still in the band. They hadn't looked for a guitar player yet.
Mm-hmm.
So Lex, who's a businessman, knew not, I didn't know what was going on.
Was Lex the manager or something?
No, but he was always, he always had an eye on the business side of things. So he wasn't going to let me go. I didn't know that. So Shooter shows up, we meet, we go to their rehearsal space. Yeah, oh yeah. So at 2, 3 a.m, here we are in Shooter's studio, a rehearsal space / recording studio. And we got to playing. He picked up a bass and Lex was on drums and Lex was like, come on, shred,
Right.
So I'm just,
come on, make me look good.
Right. And so I'm playing and, doing the whole thing. And they're like, so where are you staying? I said, well, at a hostel down the street. And they go, no, you're not. I go, okay, well, because you're coming with us. You're going to play in Stargunn. So 3, 4 a.m. at that point, I don't know. We go by the hostel. I go pick up my bag and I move into the band house that night.
No shit.
And started everything. Oh, the next day I had to tell First Man, I
was about to say, when did you break it till?
I think it was the next day or 2 days later. I think I went to lunch with him and I was like, man, and actually First Man got mad at Shooter. He mentioned it because he ended up being he had like a house band for a talk show. I was trying to remember the name.
First Man did?
Yeah, for a late night show. Daly, what was his name?
Carson Daly.
Is that Carson Daly?
Mm-hmm. That show you had at after Conan O'Brien?
Yes. So he ended up being the house band for that guy, but he was mad at Shooter for a while because they were friends afterwards. But you stole my guitar player, and it's like, I had a say in it. That was a better offer anyway.
Right, you can't steal people.
So I woke up in the band house the next day, and that started the whole 20 years.
Wow,
being
man,
here.
That just shows. People would call that lucky or blessed or whatever, but it's also that kind of shit started years ago when you first said, I'm going that way.
Yeah.
And you just kind of rely on the universe to
pretty much
provide stuff for you. And it's funny how if you know where you're going, even if it's 1,000,000 miles away, you'll get there.
Well, and there was a sense of urgency also because, I knew some people in my hometown that never left.
Mm-hmm.
And a friend of my dad's who's a bass player, he had told me when I left for England, he said, if I was your age, I'd go with you. He never left. So
it's funny, man. The first part of your career is just like a cliche of a movie of a band that's just starting.
Mm-hmm.
With the line, we're going to be bigger than Guns N' Roses.
What if I left a month later?
Go spread your wings.
Yes. What if I left a month later? I wouldn't play with Shooter. And
yeah, who knows?
Who knows? But everything fell into place because